Successful audience. She's so very she's
2025 New Student Convocation. I would compete take to win. And I'm the director of admission, and it is my honor to serve as this year's Master of Ceremonies. Before we dive in, let's get the energy flowing. I don't know where our Navy class of 2027 is representing from. So when I call your world, I want Brian Carter to hear you guys. So when you're sitting, I want you to shout it like you mean it. You guys are ready? Yeah. The diversity and the energy that makes Guttman so special. Thank you to our amazing faculty, staff, and of course, class of 2027 for being here today. This day is all about celebrating you and the start of your exciting journey at Guttman. I hope you enjoyed our musical prelude. It gives me great pleasure to invite back to the stage Matt violinist who will perform the national anthem. May I ask the audience to please rise? so much. Audience, please be seated. Convocation is about acknowledging new beginnings and dedicating yourself to your personal goals and aspirations. And today marks the beginning of what will be an unforgettable journey of growth and discovery. As we gather here today to celebrate New Student Convocation, Stella and Charles Guttman Community College acknowledges that our campus and our city are located on the historic homeland of the Lenape. So let us take this moment to pay our respects and acknowledge the Lenape people who remain closely connected with this land and are rightfully stewards. We also recognize that New York City has one of the largest urban Native American and indigenous population in the United States. We honor their traditions, identities, and stories that far too often are ignored or erased. Thank you. It is now my pleasure to welcome a very special guest. Please welcome to the stage your Vice President for Academic Affairs and Provost, Dr. Paul Reichenheiser, who will be followed by your Student Government President, Jerry Gordillo.
Hello everyone and welcome students. So today I want to give you the same advice that I gave my son 3 years ago when he went off. I'm happy to say that he's starting his senior year. He's doing really well. He's been thriving. Noah's not here, so I can take full credit for that. The reality is that when you're in college, people are going to give you all kinds of advice, all kinds of wisdom. Part of your journey is taking that information and kind of making it your own. One size definitely does not. So I hope you'll do that for what I have to say today and also for what Alright, so the advice I gave my son was this. Go have a great time. Go have fun. I didn't tell him to study hard. I didn't tell him to focus only on academics. And for you, I want you to look back on your days at Guttman and say, I had a damn good time. That is what you should be striving for. Alright, now, I of course have 5 things that I want you to be able to think about to let you have that good time. The first, everyone's going to tell you, so I'm not going to belabor this one, but get involved. Take part in groups, go to events, get part of your community. You'll be better off for these things. Get yourself outside of your comfort zone. You'll hear that a lot today. Second thing is there's a myth about college. And that myth says the only things that's really important is the content that you learn in your classes. But that content's incredibly important. There are other very vital things that you're going to learn. And one of them is all about interpersonal skills. And I want you to think about only those interpersonal skills. In our classrooms, you're going to work in groups. And that means you're going to have to deal with disappointment. Some people will let you down. You won't always get what you want in this world. And you're going to have to figure out how best to remain calm, persevere through, figure out how to use your interpersonal skills to get the things that you need. Now, on the converse side, you're also going to learn that the most powerful force for good in this world is people working together. That is the best way to enact positive change. And if you want to help yourself, you want to help those around you, you're going to have to work with others. You're absolutely going to learn that in our classrooms. Now, the third thing is all about time management. My first year in college, I almost failed out. And that's because I just didn't manage my time. I want you to go out. I want you to spend time with friends and family. I want you to be a part of this engaging, wonderful city we call home. I want you to get your work done before you do it. I can guarantee you, you'll have more fun when you're out if you've already completed all the work that's due the next day. So please make sure to carve out time to get your work done, then go out and have a great time. Alright, fourth thing. This was really important. Do not ever give up on yourself. There is no joy in giving up on yourself. And yet every semester I see students do it. And they usually do it in one of 2 ways. First starts at the beginning of the semester. Maybe you struggle a little bit on a quiz or follow along with some lesson plans. Maybe you don't do too well on a test or a group project or a paper and you think, I'm going to pack it in. Don't do it. Yes, it might be hard at first. Find that way to persevere through. And then the second point where it happens is a little later in the semester. Maybe you've missed some classes. Maybe you've missed classes, maybe you haven't done well on sport quizzes, and you think, I failed this course. So you stop going. No way. Don't ever do that. Go talk to your professors. Go ask them, how am I doing in this class and what can I do to possibly advance? Because you may find that you think you've already failed when you haven't. And you really can't make up that time. So always go and ask people, ask somebody what's going on before you just give up. Alright, and here's the lesson. I want you to always ask for help. Asking for help is not a display of weakness. Asking for help is a show of strength. And every single person here at Guttman wants to help you. This is our job, it's our passion, it's also our mission. We measure our success and our value through your successes. Now listen, this is an important part. We're gonna not lower our standards for you. But we'll tell you here's hard, and here's all the different ways that we can help you get over that. So please always ask for help. Go take advantage of all the wraparound services that we give you. Go to class. We have amazing, wonderful faculty staff. There's your now. These wonderful, brilliant people who are here for you. There is so much that you can learn from them and so much that they want to learn from you. Go to class. Also then talk to them outside of class. Find out when their office hours are. Get some one-on-one time with them. You'll find they're fun, wonderful people too. Alright, so always, when in doubt, ask for help from someone. Because here's the last part about having fun. One, I love my job. And one of the things I love most about it is graduation day. It is by far the best day of the year. Because when you walk across that stage, you get your diploma, and you watch that smile on your face, that's the day that your happiness is our happiness. So, 5 days for you to have fun in college. Get involved, work on those interpersonal skills, think about time management, never ever give up. Yes. Alright, I hope you have a wonderful and joyous and amazing start to your college career. Thank you. Hello, everybody. My name is Jerry Gordillo, and I am deeply honored to stand before you today as the student government president. Not to promises to be extraordinary academic. Last year, I sat exactly where you were, both nervous and excited, wondering if I belonged here. And if I could go back and tell that version of myself one thing, it would be this. You've got this, and you're exactly where you need to be. As we gather for this convocation, I see before me not just students beginning classes, but future leaders and change makers. Each of you brings unique talents and dreams to our campus community. Maya Angelou once said, do the best you can until you know better. Then, when you know better, do better. That's what college is all about learning, growing, and doing better than the day before. That quote reminds me that none of us have to be perfect. We just have to be open to learning and improving. That's what this journey is all about. Starting college is truly the beginning of an incredible journey. These walls will hear your laughter, witness your late night cramming sessions. Coming isn't just a college, it's emotional. Over these next years, you'll not only gain knowledge in your chosen fields, but also discover new passions, forge lifelong friendships, and develop skills that will shape your future. This campus will become your second home, and the people around you will become your second family. Let's be honest, the first week of college feels like trying to find your way through a maze, while everyone else seems to have it map. But do not worry, we're all just pretending to know where we're going. But seriously, that feeling of being lost, totally no. I remember my first week at Guttman. I got lost trying to find the library. Ironically, it's the first thing you see when you walk in. So, I made it the last. Wandering around for 20 minutes before finally asking for some help. So let me share some advice that has served me well. Use the chat. And no, not ChatGPT. First, seize your connect and ask for help. Asking for help isn't a weakness, it's wisdom. You deserve support and nothing less. Connect with your professors and staff. Visit their office hours. Ask questions, build relationships. They are not just your teachers or mentors who want to see you succeed. And contrary to popular belief, they do not lie. Almost of them don't. Professor Dr. Douglas Medine, I hope you all will get to meet, who helped me culminate my heart. Actually helped me discover my passion for creating acts. And is a huge reason to why I'm standing here today. I also can't go without recognizing Shani Pierce, Hub supervisor, whose guidance and wisdom helped me navigate college and succeed during my first year at Guttman. She is truly the heart of our community, and I am grateful for her unwavering support throughout my journey. So, make sure you visit the hub at least one time per semester. It will make your life so much easier, I promise. Secondly, H is your handle your responsibilities. The Freedom College comes with responsibility. Track your assignments, exams, and deadlines. Your future self will thank. Trust me, future you will be so much happier if present you does not procrastinate on that paper until 2 a.m. the night before it's due. Use a planner, an app, or even a sticky note on your fridge. You'll thank me later. Third, A's for actively find your balance. College offers incredible academic, social, extracurricular opportunities. Give yourself permissions to explore, but be mindful not to overcome it. I learned this lesson the hard way. During my first semester, when I joined my first club, I quickly realized I needed more than 24 hours a day to do everything that I love. Finally, and perhaps the most important, the tea reminds you to take care of yourself. Prioritize sleep, nutrition, and exercise, and mental health. Your well-being is the foundation for everything else. Remember what they tell you when parents. Put on your own acts as you must before helping others. Self-care is the best. As I conclude, on behalf of your student government, we want you to know that we're committed to enhancing your college experience. We plan a semester filled with opportunities to grow, connect, and lead your lives. Make sure you look out for these events on campus. You don't want to miss it. From welcoming festivities to student organization events, there's something for everyone at. You never know what you might find. So show up, get involved, and make some memories. Pro tip: if you ever get lost from looking at an event like a menu, follow the crowd. 90% of the time, they're heading for free food. Now, I have a favor for you. Please take out your phones, open up your favorite app. I'll give you an assist. Awesome. Now, follow us on TikTok and Instagram. And I see love and tag us weekend pictures. Also, make sure you guys download the campus group app for event updates and opportunities to get involved and go. Remember, you're not just starting college, you're becoming part of a community that will support you every step of the way. This is your time to shine. There will be days when it feels overwhelming, when you question if you belong here. Let me be clear, you do. Every single one of you guys. Earn your seat, and we're here to help you keep. The journey ahead may sometimes be challenging, but I promise it will be rewarding when you face obstacles. You remember that you're not alone. Reach out to your peers, your professors, your advisors, and yes, your SGA. Let's take a second to meet your SGA. Please stand up. So, this is your story, and you're just getting started. Good luck, and I'll see you guys around campus.
Thank you, Provost, and thank you, SGA President Gordillo. It is now my pleasure to introduce our next speaker, a proud Guttman alumni from the class of 2016. During her time here, she studied liberal arts, and since then, she has built an inspiring career as a New York sports journalist and the creative force behind at Sports Girl NYC. Born in Colombia and raised in New York, she has carved out a unique space in the sports world, building a dynamic digital platform that celebrates New York City's sports culture through a female's perspective. Her work is not only about sports, it's about storytelling, representation, and passion. We are thrilled to welcome her back to Guttman today. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to one of our shining alumni, Maria Isabel Parada.
Morning, everyone. I'm Maria Isabel. I want to thank interim president Ms. Elizabeth Leon Vergara, provost and vice president of academic affairs Dr. Paul Raven Harrison. Did I get that? Student Government Association President Jerry Gordito. Keynote, keynote speaker author James Hanahan. And thank you to faculty and staff, former and present. Thank you to my former professors who believe in me and still believe in me. Hey, let's do this. Almost 10 years ago, I was sitting where you are now. I think I'm just like this. A brand new government student. Not really sure what was ahead, but ready to take the next step. If you had asked my fifth grade teacher back then, she probably wouldn't have guessed I'd be speaking to you here today, in the heart of New York City. She thought I was too shy to ever be a broadcast journalist, that I talked too much with my classmates, and that I was a bad influence on the rest of the class. Looking back, I realize now I wasn't a bad influence. I was a leader in the making. What people have said about you, it's all up to you what you achieve in life. By ninth grades, I had another teacher, Miss McKinley, who told me once you go to college, you'll do great because you'll finally get to study what you want and learn. And she was right. Deep down, I always knew I was made for big things. I just didn't know how I was going to achieve them. The truth is, some people will doubt you, and others will believe in you. You actually need both. The ones who doubt you give you fire, and the ones who believe in you give you fuel. But the most important thing is that you believe in yourself. And believing in yourself doesn't mean don't have fear. It means don't let fear stop you. Hey, it took me forever to write this speech because in many ways, I still feel like that young woman who walked into a man nearly 10 years ago. I still feel like I have so much to learn, but I also have to remind myself I have accomplished some great things. Today, I run my own sports content creation company. I have partnered with the near Mets, Telemundo, IBM, FIFA, covered Knicks games courtside, appear on ESPN, interview players, and most importantly, I have employed myself for the past 5 years. I'm very proud of. And I know each of you has already done great things too. Think about it. You have graduated high school, and you have made a year. That alone is achievement worth celebrating. So if you allow me, let me tell you something that have helped me and still help me in this beautiful journey called life. Following your dreams is a roller coaster. The highs are very high and the lows are very low. But it's completely worth it. And you have to feel it all. Your goals don't have to look like mine. Your goals are your goals. What matters most is that you don't settle and you don't bet on your and that you don't settle and that you bet on yourself every single day. If you fail, try again and again and again. Because the only person who truly loses is the one who stops trying. Ask for help. You are not alone. Guttman has great resources that help me, and I am sure they will help you if you take advantage of that. You know, it was a professor at Guttman who first put the idea in my head that I could potentially be a sports broadcaster. And it was a faculty member who took me to my first TV show. Always ask for help. And say yes to all the opportunities that bring you closer to your goals. One lesson I have learned is this: you can have everything in life, but not everything at the same time. I'll borrow a quote from a Netflix series I once watched, The Kind Cable Girls. In life, there are always decisions to be made. Sometimes they are small and insignificant. Others are huge and can change everything forever. A yes or no could mean a life full of happiness or disgrace. Because when you cannot have everything, you have to choose. And when you choose, there is always the fear that you'll make a mistake. You are entering adulthood now. I know. And you are making choices. Sometimes it's your career versus what you think is the love of your life. Sometimes it's going out on a Friday night versus working on the project that you are most passionate about. That's life. Choices shape you, who you become. If someone doesn't give you a seat at the table, bring your own chair. That's what I did. I was rejected by all the main media companies. So I created my own. And now I sit in the press boxes and media rooms right next to them. If someone tells you no, ask them, how can I? Because everything in life is about your attitude. Life only gets better if you choose to see it that way. At the end of the day, we are all still figuring out somewhere, somehow. No matter what you decide to do in life, don't give up, please. You got this. You have us. And if you haven't experienced heartbreak during your college years, because we're humans, like I did, and it changed my life forever, I want you to know that heartbreaks hurt, but they don't hurt forever. Take one day at a time and stay close to your true friends. Those are the ones who are going to help you keep going. Those are the ones who will cry with you numerous times, even if 4 years have passed, and you'll still cry. like that first night. Cry when it hurts, laugh when it's funny, and love like there's no such thing as a broken heart. Guys and girls, I came to the United States when I was 12 years old with little to no English. I'm still learning. And today, I'm standing here in New York City, having worked with some of the biggest companies in the world, doing what I love. If I can do it, trust me, you can do it too. Easy? Probably not, but absolutely worth it. One day longer, one day stronger. Thank you, everyone.
Wow, thank you so much, Maria Isabel. It's truly inspiring to see all that you have accomplished and how you continue to grow. Now, we would like to turn to a special tradition we developed over the years, recognizing some of our newest students who stood out during the Bridge program. Please join me in welcoming a few of our dedicated faculty to the stage as they present this year's Bridge Awards. Professor Khan and Professor Bach. Hey everyone, we are so proud of you. We looked in the classroom with you this week and we just have to say it's really hard to identify a couple of you because you've all really done well, you rolled with the punches, and we're really excited to start the academic year. So these are some students that your professors over the past few days identified as ones who kind of went above and beyond and served a little extra recognition.
Hey everybody. So first off, I'd like to call up Erles Velasquez, Jace Nelson, Nastia Prejo, Jeremiah Mars, Percy Martelli, Elijah Singletary, Elijah Ludian, Johnny Andrews,
We have a few more. Can anybody else? Leslie Tapper. Angel James. Game Vasquez. Eric Coleman. Megan Etienne. Carmen Martinez Soto. and Aiden Ryan. I have here that these are two online students that they might be watching, so I want to give them a shout out. Marcus Small and Amaya Peterman. Starting Tuesday. Yeah. I can't wait to see so many of you back on stage at our annual award ceremony this summer. As today's MC, it is my honor to introduce our keynote speaker, James Hanahan. James is not only a gifted writer, but also a visual artist whose work has been celebrated nationwide. His novel Delicious Foods earned the Penn Faulkner Award for Fiction, the first Wright Legacy Award, and was named a New York Times notable book. His most recent novel, Your Common Read, continued at its wings, winning the Farrell Columbia Award, a second First Wright Award, and again recognition as a New York Times notable book. His voice carries tremendous weight in today's literacy landscape, offering powerful reflection on resilience, identity, and the human experience. Insights that speaks directly to the moment you are in as new Guttman students. We are thrilled to have you with us today. Please join me in giving a warm Guttman welcome to our keynote speaker, James Hanahan.
Yes, you're getting a word and you're like, that everybody's scared of you like, give me up your honest. Say, oh, I hope. Right. That's just I first like to thank the faculty and staff for having the temerity to choose Didn't Nobody Give a Shit What Happened to Carlotta. As a comment, nobody wants to say that on stage. Didn't nobody give a shit what happened to Carlotta. That's the compliment for incoming students, and I think I've experienced it. And congratulations to all of you, the new incoming students, for making the choice to get a secondary education, and for using up in particular. Because your school has taken a big risk by selecting a book that is highly critical of the criminal justice system and makes most of its points from the perspective of a Latina trans woman with a that she experiences the worst of what that system has done. For your community to say, speaks in our current moment is likely to attract negative attention. But I feel responsibility to encourage everyone to risk attracting negative attention and speak out for themselves and other people at a time when a lot of folks don't understand a damn thing about your lives, I might add, are taking a lot of light to attract unlawful attention. Use responsibility to encourage everyone to risk attracting negative attention and speak out for themselves and other people at a time when a lot of those people because you take up too much space and think about your lives, I might add. I want to say you a lot warning violence, unlawful steps. I want to say something I realized, or to use Tim Larson's term, we remembered when Carlotta came out. I'm not going to talk about you because you take up too much space. Second, I want to touch it like fourth warning you and do 12 videos. I want to explain about something our friends want to use certain artists. Facebook refused to run ads for a woman with a curse word at the time. Please, I don't know if you choose this. Well, you're from New York, you're fictions. It's like people were Christians or shit. Facebook refused to run ads for a woman with a curse word at the time. I don't know. It is a curse word. Well, you're from New York, you're fictions. My culture is like because I'm not a Latina trans woman. That's basically how it's telling me. I would be criticized if not canceled. My culture is scary because I'm not a Latina trans woman. My story. I seem to fear the wrath of marginalized people. If not canceled, but as a fellow minority myself, trickles of being a Latina trans life can my story. I just fear the wrath of marginalized people. Every day of my 15 years of life. And I felt that a lot of people had missed something before. I just lived identity politics every day of my 15 plus strange thing that happened. And I felt that a lot of people had missed something. Is that everyone presumes to know exactly what you want. But another strange thing that happens, they will almost exclusively say everyone presumes to know things that will attract attention to yourself. Things that feed your ego. That might get you doing followers on social media accounts or some other things that superficial ego. Stupid might get you big followers on social media accounts or some other. Or it might just make you look stupid when they don't emphasize that or spotlight. Show you behind. Or they might just make you look foolish when they don't emphasize that. Obviously, I don't completely avoid the spotlight. Right? Obviously, I don't completely something about avoiding the spotlight. All that's off. And it is something very, very that's off. Pandering to the internet, very in search of cheap things. Pandering to not a realistic search for a fighter. It's a very fictionalistic goal for a literary fiction with a trashy edge. Literary fiction with a trashy edge. It might not even be what sells books. It might not even be what sells gets people to read books. What gets people to read. It's like those competitions are much more effective at creating value, creating stars, and feels like but I think you're able to seriously consider me on other choices. But then after almost a year after Carlotta came out, a colleague of mine emailed me to say that she had managed to get a copy of the book to a woman named Cornelia Harris, who's prisoner in a Texas women's prison, who had spent upwards of 6 years in solitary confinement as part of a 30-year sentence. And she was a writer, a really fantastic writer, so she looked her up. And she wrote back with this review. She said that her book was amazing. I haven't read anything that funny in a while. It was medicine for my mood. I was able to read a little aloud while in the cage during lockdown. The kids were excited. These are other people in lockdown. I tell you, Savitra said, I ain't know you can write books like how he is. That floored me. I tell you, citation matters. To see your community, their experiences not watered down, but in their vernacular. Priceless. Everyone feels comfortable enough to participate. I was impressed that anyone got a copy of the book into prison at all, and there's a funny reasoning about that. But this incident reminded me that the reason to write, actually the reason she thinks that the prison guards let it through, was that they didn't sense the bitter irony of the title. They just thought, oh, didn't nobody give a shit what happened to Carlotta? It's anti-LGBT. I was surprised that anyone got a copy of the person at all, but it reminded me, reason to write, and eventually publish books you can, it's not to try to become rich and famous and have everyone know your name on TikTok. That's a lot of people, even people in publishing, seem to believe these days. But because books can still reach very specific audiences in the places where they are most needed. If I pitched a book to a publisher by saying, I want to write a book that will entertain formerly incarcerated Latina LGBTQ people in solitary confinement, I think it would have rejected it flat. Probably less saying that the audience is too small, it's too marginal. But for students to be interested in the book, you need to be a stand-in for the main character, which is insane. Any marginalized person who has read even a few books knows that isn't true. When I read about a book read, I would like a man entering the mind, which would make a good movie. Novels free us from our apparent identities, the ones that people see, not the ones that are inside us, and allow us to see what life might be like for people we think of as different from us, but who are not really that different. So I decided to flip the script on that whole idea that you have to be like the main character and use the tiny platform I made for myself to pander to the margins, essentially. I typically hand it over to my agent when it's close to done. It can't nobody say nothing. Carlotta is not supposed to be 100% realistic explanation of what it's like to be any of the things that Carlotta appears to be. In fact, it steals a lot from canonical literature, especially the Odyssey and Ulysses. I tried to avoid an attempt to justify Carlotta's existence. I didn't want to start from a place where she needed to do that, because anyone who felt that she needed to do that was not the main reader I wanted to reach out to. Didn't nobody, I didn't want, didn't nobody give a shit about having Carlotta to be a book primarily for people who shared some of Carlotta's background, especially the part where she's from New York City. And especially Brooklyn, actually. Because you can read that book and kind of walk around Brooklyn along with her. It's sort of the same camp with Ulysses. Anyone else can jump in and watch from the back as far as I'm concerned. I can read Jane Eyre and Moby Dick and Leave Aside and still identify with the main character. Well, so good day. I hope that the book would help increase the visibility of LGBTQIA prisoners, or alphabet people, as so many more refers to us. To shed some light on the struggles of formerly incarcerated people, and maybe even give them a well-deserved laugh, at the very least, like Cornetto. Because I just like the idea that all of these differences we love to argue about and get all righteous about are more meaningful than our shared humanity. That said, I knew I needed to get a lot of the details right, and that I couldn't hold back in terms of the language or in my depiction of the political and social context the book presents. I also made an effort to find a translator to read part of Carlotta in the audiobook version, and I connected with the wonderful, hilarious Flame Monroe, shameless plug for the audiobook. Back to the thing people see to this. It was this. Marginalized people don't dislike running across identities. There are a million TV shows written by rooms full of people who don't share the same backgrounds as the characters on their shows. We seem to get a pass on that, but for some reason, if there's a single author, we're like, you have to be exactly like that person. We dislike it when it's done badly. And for me, that means when it fails to emphasize the humanity of every last character, and it gets the details wrong, and whoever, if there's somebody who is somewhat like the main character, they'll like throw the book across over and, call bullshit. When it isn't, and that for me is not limited to lifting up their dignity or something. I think that's like really boring. Because I want to throw in the nitty-gritty, the down and dirty, the funny, the tragic, the brilliant triumphs, and the foolish mistakes, and especially the unexpected parts of every human life. Like, the thing that you don't think somebody is going to do is the thing that makes them a human being. In your writing fiction. And actually, life too, like, if I find people who feel fulfilled the stereotype that I think they're going to fulfill, I get really disinterested. It's when people are like, oh, I didn't know that person would be like that. There's something. Humans enjoy escaping the little cages collectivity we've invented to find at various groups. Even when we belong to those groups, we want to express our individuality, even if we identify primarily with one community or a set of them. One of my favorite recent trends is the one where black women walk around wearing t-shirts or white hard rock bands. Because it makes people confront their assumptions and stereotypes in real time. You're like, flip. Yeah. Recently, you can't like stop and ask either. Like, alright. Recently, I was in a writing residency. Recently, I was in a writing residency. His father is a judge, and she told me that he had read Carlyle. And she told me that not long after reading the book, he encountered a black trans woman in a courtroom setting, and remembering how much he had liked the book and Carlotta's character in particular, he found himself offering this real-life black trans woman a kind of respect and mercy that he might not have otherwise. I was like, my book is dumb. Or an author accomplished than to connect people across some fiercely guarded differences that are at their very core meaningless. In the exact setting where a lot of those problems get exacerbated, no less. Books can tell stories that show people to themselves, let them know that they matter, that someone has seen what they go through and wants to tell the world, and that the lives of people who might seem different than them on the surface matter just as much as their own. In order to do that work, we have to say some things nobody wants to hear, and that risk attracting negative attention. Because the consequences of remaining silent are far worse. Books offer us the opportunity to contemplate the lives of other people and open up spaces for empathy and understanding, or even not understanding, but also not rush into judgment. Read them, think about them, read more of them, think more, love more. Thank you very much.
Thank you, James. You're much taller than I am. Thank you for an incredible message. Let's give our keynote speaker one more big rip. And now, I have a distinct honor to introduce a truly extraordinary leader, the new interim president of Stella and Charles Guttman Community College, Ms. Dion Bergapa. Years of distinguished leadership experience, she has served at the highest level of government, including Assistant Secretary at the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. Throughout her career, she has championed initiatives that has transformed lives, helping make paid family leave and the $15 minimum wage a reality, while expanding opportunities for students, workers, and minority-owned businesses. A lifelong advocate for equity, access, and student success, she brings both vision and passion to everything she does. We are deeply fortunate to have her guiding our college at this very exciting moment in our journey. Please join me in giving the warmest welcome to our new intern president, Ms. Leon Bergala. Who doesn't want to do that together? It's difficult to follow the words of Jerry in our keynote. Um, I have to say, I've been in DC halls for like 4 years, and I haven't heard this much cursing in a long time, so I appreciate it. Thank you. Buenos dias. Good morning, everyone. I feel like I need to get you guys to get up. You've been sitting for, you're not supposed to sit for 145 minutes, but I won't force you to do that. I want to say thank you, Sophia. You've done an amazing job as MC. Please respect. As a full-fledged adult, you don't really appreciate how much it takes to actually put these events together. And so I want to personally thank the student affairs team, I'm getting all these names for the first time, right? The academic affairs team, and wait, what is this one? Enrollment management. Where's this team? You remember that? Well, thank you for putting this together. So as we close out today, I just want to take a moment to speak to you directly, the students, our newest Guttman students. First, congratulations, felicidades. You made it. Yeah. You're here. And I hope that you're proud of that, because I'm proud of that. And the faculty and the staff here are proud of you too. Starting college is a very big deal. It's a big step. It's exciting, overwhelming, a little scary. Some of you might be the first in your family to go to college. I was. Some of you may be juggling jobs. I juggled three when I was in college. You may have family responsibilities, personal challenges, and still you showed up today. And that matters, and it should matter to you. Guttman is a special place on learning. And not just because of the classes and the professors and the programs and because we live in the best city in the world, but because of the people, because of you. This is a community that sees you, that values you, and wants you to succeed. And not just in the classroom, but as an entire whole person. As a person who is a resident, a city of this city and of the world. So as we begin this journey together, and I have to tell you, this is my convocation too. So I started the same day you started. My first day here was Tuesday. And yes, the elevator will come. To deal with that too and take the stairs. So as we begin this journey together, I want you to know you don't have to figure it out all today. Because I'm not. And it's okay to ask questions, because God knows if you ask all the VPs, I've asked a lot of questions. It's okay to ask for help. And I have Rosalind, thank God, and God knows I wouldn't have survived this week without her help. And most importantly, know that you and I belong here. You bring your own story every step that you take. Tells a little bit about who you are. And your own strengths. And I think I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story. I was going back and forth on that, but I will. Because it's part of myself that I don't share often. It's funny, you just heard about my accomplishments that I was an assistant secretary. So I'll start by telling you that every time I get a promotion, my mom doesn't understand why my title sounds like it's less, even though my responsibilities go up. So what does it mean to be an assistant secretary at the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development? It means a Senate confirmed individual, a person. And in the last administration that we were in, there were only like four of us in the entire country. And yet my title was assistant secretary. My mom's like, I thought you were an attorney, and now you're like an assistant. You're not even like a real secretary. So yeah, that's a little bit about myself because I want to learn about you. And so this is a way you just stop me in the hallway and let me know a little bit about you. So I'm going to be a little more at home to you today. So my story is a woman who was born in the South Bronx, who charted a path that wasn't a direct path, who made a couple of stops along the way, a couple of turns. It's easy to do in New York. I was born in a hospital called Morrisania to immigrant parents from the Dominican Republic. I'm a little old, so around the time when I was 4 and 5, and guys, most of you probably don't remember this, it was a time when the Bronx was going through a really difficult time. And you may hear this term that is called the Bronx is burning. So when I was about 4 or 5, the building where I lived, the boiler exploded, and the entire building went up in flames. My family was lucky because we were able to make it out of the building. In an instant, my family found itself homeless. We moved in with family to Washington Heights, which is why I also claim Manhattan. And so my mother and my father found the fifth floor walk up on 180th and St. Nicholas. And for those who live in Washington Heights, 180th Street is like the Times Square of Washington Heights, right? My mother and father escaped a 40-year dictatorship. They worked long hours when they came here, 12 to 14 hours every day. They were laborers, hard workers. My mother was a cashier, a manager in a supermarket, a home attendant. My dad was a taxi driver, a door-to-door sponge salesman, a travel agent. By the time I was 8, I was a common statistic, living under the poverty line in a household that was led by a single mom. My father was in jail. My father did time in Rikers Island and in a state facility in upstate New York. So growing up in Washington Heights during that time wasn't, the Hamilton of today. Even though there is a very different, but very different Washington Heights. So Washington Heights of my childhood was dubbed to be the crack cocaine capital of the world. In my college essay, I described how drugs had infiltrated every block, and violence was the norm. We had riots, and we had blackouts. It would have been easy for me to succumb to that, to all the things that I was witnessing, but I didn't. And in spite of the stresses, I had a group, I had a support system, I had teachers, people that had riots, and we had the support system that we have here at Guttman. It would have been easy for me to succumb to that. They were the teams that kept me on track that I was witnessing. But I didn't. On the edges, and in spite of the stresses, they taught me about Shirley Chisholm. I had a support system. I had teachers. People that reminded me of them, the support system that we have here at Guttman. Waiting for good to go. They were the team that kept me on track. And deep inside, on the edges of the violence, they taught me about Shirley Chisholm, Washington Heights. But it was something more. And then against all odds, I trusted myself. As difficult as it was. And for the first time in my life, I stepped away. Deep inside, there was a knowledge that I knew was familiar, that there was something beyond Washington Heights. And it was the unknown. And against all odds, I trusted myself. As difficult as it was. And though at home I honed my powerful skills, because that doors I grew up in the children, from what I knew was familiar, was here, and difficult. And into the unknown. I knew that education was the key. And you know it too. And though at home I honed my powerful skills, I advocated for those that couldn't advocate for themselves, my family's friends, because I knew that education was the key. How it goes. You know everybody shows up. I advocated for those that couldn't advocate for themselves, my family, and my family's friends, because, myself, I had a lot of work to go. Everybody shows up. And you heard a lot of speeches today that says, but I would soon find out that yourself. When it came to advocating for myself, I had a lot of work to do. And I was scared. And you heard a lot of speeches today. And I didn't want to focus on myself at the time. But I remember the quote, and I was scared. A teacher once told me by Nelson Mandela. And I didn't want to bring to my ear, and I hope it rings in your. But I remember the quote. The teacher once told me courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph in my ear, and I hope it rings in yours. That the brave man or woman. That courage was not the absence of fear. It's not she who does not feel afraid. The she that the brave man or woman is not she that does not feel afraid. The she who think about doing that once, so that you have done that evidence that you could do it again. And the thing about doing it once, so that is a good friend once told me that it's important to remember that who you are. A good friend once told me that it's important to remember that who you are today, and it's not the person you're going to be 5 years from now, and it's not the person you're going to be 5 years. So as you take on this journey, as we go on this journey, as we go on this journey, I want to say thank you for showing up. I want to say thank you every day for showing up every day. And lastly, ask for help. You heard that today. You heard that today over and over. Get involved. Make mistakes. Ask the team. Try again. And also, believe in yourself. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam President. Now I have the pleasure of introducing someone you all get to know him very well this year. His responsibilities will help you develop leadership skills, meaningful connections, and thrive both academically and personally. His commitment to student engagement and a vibrant campus experience is one of the reasons Guttman is recognized as one of the top community colleges in the state. Please join me in welcoming Andrew Bennett, Director of Student Life.
Like my NYC I teach, so to learn more about the bodies on campus, those you have to make sure that's rest. Things here. Everybody got a pen? If you do not have a pen, raise your hand or get you one. If you not have a pen, raise your hand, alright? And what we're gonna do, I like that idea, stand up, you got a hand on the left, you got a hand in your back. You get people with pens. Why don't you stand on up for me, get your butt on, everybody stand up. What's it like? Come on, get your butt on. Any flexes on your life, your blind hair on your flexibility strike. You learn more about this smells like no matter which round the green and around like it's like on the events that you look at first. One on the fifth, you got to try yellow, orange, and red. Yellow signifies creativity and intellect. The orange signifies optimism, positivity, and the blue symbolizes trust and loyalty. All of the characteristics you will now embody and remember on the government community. In addition, we ask you to have strength, bravery, and empowerment, which are represented by our mascot, Stella the Griffin, who's around here somewhere. Check out these scenes. So we're proud of. Oh, Stella here. And this is the big convocation ceremony ends. Be reminded that sitting in these seats today puts you one step closer to accomplishing your goal and the ability to pave the path for future government leaders, students, leaving a legacy for those to come after you. Welcome, we'll be Griffin. Give yourself a round of applause.
Thank you, Drew. Class of 2027, Guttman Community College's new street convocation ceremony is now concluded.
Today was more than just welcoming you. It was a celebration of the start of your journey, reminding you that you belong here and that you have everything it takes to thrive. Know that Guttman will be with you every step of the way, cheering you on as you grow, achieve, and shine. Now, all students should make their way back to Guttman for lunch. Have a wonderful day, everyone, and let's get out.